Hey guys, welcome to your channel. I'm going to give you some guidelines regarding today's Hindu newspaper. So let's proceed. The one important article from the front page of today's Hindu newspaper is all states can constitute foreigner tribunals. This is an important article from the viewpoint of preliminary and mains exam. So the important context the article has brought us here. One is the matter of tribunal and another is the Foreigners Act 1946. This act was implemented right before the independence. So some of the provisions needs to be memorized from this article, which are important for preliminary exam as well as mains exam. You can refer to them in mains exam and you can tackle some objective questions in prelims as well as from this act. So very simple, what are some of the main provisions of this Foreigners Act 1946 are there? The purpose of the act is to determine the legal status of the foreigners, to protect the foreigners whenever necessary, and to make necessary provisions regarding the deportation of the foreigners. So what are the provisions? Foreigners cannot enjoy fundamental rights, though Indian constitution has provided some fundamental rights to the foreigners, but under this act, the foreigners cannot enjoy any fundamental right. Center has unanimous power regarding the making of any provision for foreigners. This is very important because the article has as per the article, this is the provision where recent changes have been made. Under this Foreigners Act 1946, Center has the extraordinary power to deal with the foreigners. Center can make any provisions regarding the foreigners. Then another provision is that the movement of the foreigners can be controlled. That means the purpose of the visiting of the foreigners, the places where foreigners generally visit, they can be brought under scrutiny by the government agencies. Right. Then another provision is that foreigners cannot change name while residing in India. Once they are entered India, once they are residing in India, they cannot change their names. Another most important is that this is the most important. One important is that the power of center regarding the dealing with foreigners. Then another is nationality of a foreigner must have to be enshrined under this act. Means if any dispute comes regarding a person, whether he is a foreigner or an Indian, then he must have to be proved as a national. He must have to be proved his nationality under this act. Means he must have to prove that he is an Indian citizen under this act, and following of which he will be declared as foreigner. If he has not been able to prove his nationality as the origin of India under this act, then he will be declared as foreigner, and the burden of proof lies upon him. So these are some important provisions of the Foreigners Act 1946. Then coming to the matter of tribunal, it is very important to discuss from the pre and mains point of view. In Indian Constitution, this provision was included through 42nd Amendment Act in Part 14A. Articles are 323A and 323B. 323A deals with administrative tribunals and 323B deals with the tribunals related with other matters. Now, what is tribunal? Tribunal is a specialized court. It is not an ordinary court. Specialized means what? The tribunal deals with only some special matters, right? Not with all the matters, right? It can also be a part of all. It is also a part of alternative dispute resolution mechanism. It follows the principle of natural justice. The provisions of strict provisions of civil and criminal procedure code and evidence act are not strictly applicable to the tribunal. Though tribunal works as a civil court, but some strict provisions of civil procedure code, criminal procedure code, and some strict provisions of evidence act are not applicable to tribunal. So what is tribunal? Tribunal is a specialized court dealing with special matters. It is a part of alternate dispute resolution mechanism. It follows the principle of natural justice. It enjoys the power of a civil court, not the power of a criminal court, and it does not strictly follow the rigorous provisions of civil procedure code, criminal procedure code, as well as the evidence act, Indian evidence act, right? So what is the special court? There are various types of tribunals like administrative tribunals, which are under 323A. Administrative tribunal, what does they do? They are a dispute resolution mechanism regarding the recruitment and services of post of central state services as well as the post of local authorities. That means administrative tribunal deals with any matters, any disputes regarding the recruitment and the conditions of services under the central government and state government of posts as well as the post under local authorities. Right. And there are some other tribunals also like Armed Forces Tribunal, and there are some tribunals which deals with some expert matters, like they bear some kind of expertise on particular topics, specialized matters like National Green Tribunal, intellectual property appellate tribunal, right, cyber tribunal, etc. In this kind of tribunals, the judges and the other legal expertise need specialized knowledge, and this is one of the very crucial purpose of the tribunal, because in ordinary court there are some problems regarding dealing with the some expert matters, right? In that is why they under this provision, under this article 323B, some tribunals have been established so that they can exclusively deal with some particular topics, some particular disputes. So administrative tribunals are related to 323A under Indian Constitution, and other tribunals, whether it is a Railway Tribunal, NCT, Cyber Tribunal, at Armed Forces Tribunal, these are under Article 323B. So what are some purposes of tribunal? Means speedy disposal of cases. We all know that how much burden the ordinary courts are bearing, right? To relieve the ordinary courts from the burden of some cases, administrative tribunal have been established so that speedy disposal of cases can be made. Required expertise. There are some fields which need special lawyer, right? Which needs lawyer of specialized topic, right? In that cases, actually, tribunal can help us. In that way, specialization means also divisions, right? Divisions on the legal disputes. In that way, as a whole, it is a part of alternative dispute resolution mechanism which helps the ordinary court relieving their burden and also provides us a speedy justice system. And one matter you have to note here is that what is the distinction between tribunal and court? One distinction between tribunal court is that whatever the decision is given by the tribunal, it is not called judgment, it is called award. But the decision of the court is called judgment, and the court has the power of in case of court, what happens? It follows strict provisions of civil procedure code, criminal procedure code, evidence act. But generally, the tribunal does not follow the strict provisions of civil procedure code, criminal procedure code, and evidence act. Tribunal is vested with the power of a civil court only, which is not applicable to court. Court has all the powers regarding civil and criminal. So, what are some powers of the civil court? It can issue order. An order is binding on the parties. It can summon a person to appear before the tribunal. It can examining the witness, and it can examining the relevant documents also. So these are some necessary information regarding the tribunal, which are must reading for preliminary as well as mains exam. In India, foreigners are controlled under two acts: Passport Act 1920, Foreigners Act 1946. We have already discussed Foreigners Act 1946. In preliminary exam, you might find question that which of the following act is not dealt with foreigners. Both Passport Act 1920, Foreigners Act 1946 have been dealt with the foreigners, and this Foreigners Act 1946 have been amended in various time like 1950, 1964, 2004, and recently. Under this act, only center has the power to constitute any kind of foreigner tribunal. But as per the recent changes, center has given power to state as well as union territory to constitute foreign tribunal. And in the states and union territory, the district magistrate or district collector are empowered to set up a tribunal. So this is very important for pre as well as main point of view. And one important aspect regarding the foreigner tribunal is that if a person has been declared as illegal, his citizenship is illegal, if a person has been declared as foreigner by the tribunal, then the person cannot proceed to any kind of appellate tribunal. Means one declared illegal, one declared foreigner by the foreign tribunal, the verdict of the award of the tribunal is the binding on the related person. So this is another important aspect from pre point of view. So as a whole, we can gather this kind of information from this article for preliminary as well as mains exam. There are two another important articles from the opinion page. Is Niti Aayog all the wine in a new bottle? The article explores the possibility that what are some other alternative options which can make Niti Aayog more efficient. So what points we can gather from the article is that implementation rather than mere planning. The Niti Aayog should come up with solid implementation plan in apart from planning. Planning is not necessary. Planning is not always everything if there is a lack of solid implementation process. Immune from government. That means what? The organizational structure, the organizational setup, organizational working process of the Niti Aayog should be free from the influences of the government, so that it can give us a impartial evaluation. So it can work impartially, being free from the influences of the government. Independent evaluator. An independent evaluator should be appointed so that he can evaluate the work of the success and failures of the Niti Aayog in a very impartial way. Evaluation and course correction amidst in the midst of action, rather than taking actions or rather than taking reformative actions after the plan is done, there should be a midterm planning, there should be a midterm evaluation process, so that examining the plan, examining the ongoing plan, future recourses can be made to correct the plan or to make the plan more effective. Organizational spirit. A organizational spirit is necessary which can encompass right from the administrator up to the common people, right from the government to the civil society. Such a organizational setup will bring more efficiency to Niti Aayog. So these are some points which you can note down in our copy. So using these points, Niti Aayog can be made more administrative friendly, more result oriented, right? These are some points which are very necessary. You can refer these points to your relevant answer in mains exam. Then coming to the another article, a clear arc from India to Nigeria. The article explores the various fields on which India and Nigeria can bind together. Though there are various fields, but I have chosen hydrocarbon, oil, education and health. Besides this, banking, technology, shipping, agriculture. These are some areas where both the countries can make progress, but hydrocarbon, oil, education and health occupies the utmost priority for both countries, and especially in front of the America's sanction on India regarding the import of oil from Iran. India can use this country as a substitute for this sanction because this country is very much rich in oil as well as hydrocarbon. So these are some important articles from today's Hindu newspaper. I have tried with my best effort to give you the guidelines. I hope following the guidelines you will prepare your own notes. I'll come with another video tomorrow. Till then, take care and bye bye.